Welcome back. Iraq's parliament could declare a state of emergency today after key cities in the country were seized by Islamist militants.
I hope this incident really will lead all Iraqi leaders to come together to face this serious, mortal threat to the country.
The insurgents are part of a group known as ISIS, attacking the cities of Mosul and Tikrit, forcing nearly 500,000 people to flee. The state of emergency would require a yes vote from 2/3 of parliament, and experts say it could result in curfews, media censorship, and restricted public movement. Also part of the story is that the Iraqi military has retreated in the face of what's seen as an invasion. You can see here on the map the areas where the militants have pushed into Iraq. They now hold large sections of the north and central part of the country, as well as parts of neighboring Syria. Joining us now from Medford, New Jersey, is Bill Roggio. He's the editor for the Long War Journal and a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Let's talk about this particular group. Can you tell us a little bit more about them and what their motivation is here?
Yes, the group is called the Islamic State of Iraq and the Sham, commonly referred to as ISIS. It began as Al-Qaeda in Iraq, so this is the same group. The U.S. fought from 2004 up until leaving Iraq in December 2011. It currently has a split with Al-Qaeda Central over its attempt to subsume the jihad inside Syria. It's a leadership dispute, and there is some infighting, and fighters have been killed on both sides inside Syria. But in Iraq, the group is unified, and its overall goal is to establish an Islamic state or an Islamic caliphate, hence its name, Islamic State of Iraq and the Sham, and impose its harsh brand of Sharia law, much like the Taliban. Islamic State of Iraq and the Sham is considered one of the most radical jihadist groups, and it does want to conduct attacks in the West. Just right now, it's focusing all its efforts locally in order to establish its base.
So, Bill, I know they have a history with Al-Qaeda, but can you tell us a little bit more about their leader?
Yeah, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is the head of the Islamic State of Iraq and the Sham. He is currently in a dispute with Al-Qaeda's emir because Al-Qaeda sided with a group called the Nusra Front inside Syria. He's a real firebrand. And he does seem to inspire the people under him to fight. Despite setbacks in Syria, he controls major cities inside Syria along the Euphrates River Valley, and as well as in Iraq. And he really wants to establish the global caliphate. And right now, he's contending with Zawahiri for being the leader of the global jihad. Now, all of Al-Qaeda's other affiliates or branches have backed Al-Qaeda Central. And it's possible that there may be some type of reconciliation between the two groups. But right now, ISIS is riding real high with its successes in Iraq. I'd estimate it controls probably 1/3 or more of Iraq right now.
So what do you make of the reports, Bill, of members of the Iraqi military fleeing?
Yeah, it certainly is stunning. In major cities, the military just abandoned their weapons. The reasons right now are unknown. I've seen conflicting reports where they've been ordered to do so, or some are just fearful of fighting against Islamic State. But this is a collapse that needs to be studied. The Iraqi military really held the peace for about a good year after the U.S. left, and then slowly over time began to crumble. I think this is due to the fact that the things that the U.S. gave the Iraqi military, intelligence, reconnaissance, air power, things of that nature. Once we pulled them back, the Iraqi military weakened greatly. And the things that keep a military sustained in the field, the logistics, air support, medevac, those things, when the Iraqi military doesn't have that and they fight a concerted enemy, they seem to crumble.
So do you see U.S. intervention in this particular situation now?
No, I don't. President Obama has been clear that he wants no part of Iraq. I mean, this was the pullout in December 2011, and just look at his speech at West Point just several weeks ago. He wants the U.S. to be less involved, and he said that, even with Afghanistan, that's going to be an Afghan problem after the U.S. withdrawal. This is, to President Obama, this is an Iraq problem, and it's one that the U.S. is going to deal with. The Iraqi government was asking for drone and air support well over a month ago, and the U.S. government denied. I don't see them turning around and changing that policy.
All right, we have Bill Roggio joining us with his take on the changing situation in Iraq. Bill, thank you.
Thank you very much.